At the start of the drama, we see the drama's female lead, Yan, who goes to a place where the people ask her for her ID. Later, conversations take place between Yan's family members and the drama's male lead, Hao Ming's family members. These two families talk about Yan and Hao Ming's marriage. Here, we see in a flashback, Yan teaching her parents how to talk to Hao Ming's family members. The scene comes to the current time where Hao Ming's mom tells Yan's dad, "I went to the university where you are a teacher, but I didn't see your name anywhere." On this matter, Yan says, "Actually, my dad works there as a researcher. He doesn't take classes. Maybe that's why you didn't see his name." Later, everyone eats lunch, after which Hao Ming's mom tells Yan, "Perhaps your parents aren't very close to you. Your mom gave you an egg, which you didn't even touch. How is it possible that your mom doesn't know you don't like eggs?" Yan says, "I am sorry I lied that I have a good relationship with my family. Actually, I grew up with my grandma. My parents have always stayed away from me for work." Later, Yan gives her parents a hotel room to stay in. And here we find out that these two are her fake parents. Then Yan leaves that room. Then Yan goes to a show where a girl named Siwei starts scolding her a lot. Then she tells Yan, "I am the host of this show. I will say just one thing, and you will be out of here." At night, Yan is working on her laptop. Just then, Hao Ming comes and starts kissing her, and slowly these two get even closer. After this, we see in a flashback, Yan has gone to her office where a girl comes and tells her he isn't agreeing to give the interview at all. Then Yan says, "I'll think of something." Next, Yan goes to a place where Hao Ming is. Seeing Yan, he says, "Start working on that plant kept on the table." Now Yan says, "Any plant should be prepared in its own way. Everyone has their own perspective." Hearing all this, Hao Ming says, "Come here and work from tomorrow, but then what will happen to your other job, Miss Yan?" Yan is shocked because Hao Ming knows her name. Then Hao Ming says, "I won't give any interview, but I am impressed by your homework." Later, Yan is in her office where a message comes on her phone. Then she goes to a company named Jinda Group, where, upon reaching, she tells the receptionist, "I have an appointment with Mr. Hao Ming." Then when she reaches the meeting room, Hao Ming is busy in a meeting. So Yan sits on a chair and waits for him. In a little while, Hao Ming tells his staff, "Turn off the switches of all the air conditioners." Then he starts continuing his discussion. But here, Yan's health starts getting bad and she faints. After this, Hao Ming takes her to the nurse. The nurse gives her an injection. Later, when Yan regains consciousness, Hao Ming tells her, "You got a fever in my office. You should rest right now." Then the scene cuts, and Hao Ming takes Yan to his mom and says, "This is my girlfriend." So his mom welcomes Yan. Next, a friend of Hao Ming's mom asks Yan, "Do you have a dog?" Yan says, "I stay very busy with work. I don't get time to keep a dog." Sometime later, a servant comes and is picking up empty plates from the table. So Yan also helps her and takes the plates away from there. Next, a servant tells Yan, "Your hair is a little frizzy and dry. Ladies take care of their hair a lot." After this, Hao Ming's mom comes and tells Yan, "I have ordered food at the club. You bring the food from there." Actually, I don't like strangers coming into my house, so I don't want the club people to come into the house and deliver the food. Anyway, then later, Yan's director tells her, "Your proposal to become a host has been rejected." Now later, Yan gets a hair treatment and goes to meet Hao Ming's mom. Here, Hao Ming's mom also invites a friend of Hao Ming, Yun. Yun is involved in investment banking, and conversations are happening between Hao Ming's mom and Yun about this very topic. Next, Hao Ming's mom tells Yan, "These girls are talented and beautiful. Only these people match with Hao Ming. That day when I told you to take the plates, you didn't hesitate. It seems you don't belong to a good family background." Yan says, "My parents work at a university overseas. They have taught me that one should adjust in any situation." After this, Yan is working in the office. Sometime later, Hao Ming's mom calls her and summons her. Then Yan reaches an address where Hao Ming's mom tells her, "Your dad has studied about architecture. Why don't you choose a house design from among these which is the best?" Just then, Hao Ming arrives there and says, "I have already chosen a house." Saying this, he takes Yan away from there. Later, Yan brings a scarf for Hao Ming's mom. Seeing this, Hao Ming's mom's friend, Miss Meng, says Hao Ming's mom, Mrs. Lan, doesn't like such scarves. She likes plain scarves. Later, Yan goes grocery shopping with Mrs. Lan's staff. While talking, that staff tells Yan, "Mrs. Lan's friends are very clever. Last time, a girlfriend of Hao Ming had come about, who Mrs. Lan's friends provoked her, so that she would reject that girl." Later, Yan is at a tennis court where Hao Ming's mom has invited her. Just then, Ms. Q comes there, who is the wife of a famous businessman. So So here, she becomes the center of attraction for everyone. After this, Yan finds out that Ms. Q likes going to the opera. So Yan starts learning a dance form named water sleeves. Now one day, Ms. Q sees Yan from a distance. She starts asking the teacher about Yan. After this, she goes to Yan and tells her, I have been wanting to learn this step of water sleeves for many days, but I am unable to do it. While talking, Ms. Q finds out that Yan is the host of a show. Now after this, Yan tells her show's director, I am inviting President Q. This will create interest in the audience to watch our show. Next, Yan tells Q, there is an opportunity to meet with an industrial group. After this, Yan is hosting this show. Here, all the guests talk about their cooking skills. Then Yan divides these people into groups and arranges a cooking competition between everyone. Later, while drinking tea, Hao Ming's mom and her friends are watching the video of this show. These people are quite impressed with Yan. Then Hao Ming's mom also participates in this show through Yan. Slowly, because of Yan, the reviews of this cooking show start improving. Yan's director is also impressed with Yan. On the other side, we see Yan's dad who is fixing a lady's hair in a salon. He tells that lady, Yan doesn't keep any news of us, but my elder daughter Lin's wedding is about to happen. My would-be son-in-law is a banker. Now, Lin works as a salesgirl. There, a person harassed her, and Lin also hit that person. Amidst all this, Lin had to go to the police station. So because of this, Lin's fiancé Tao's mom starts scolding Lin. And just then Tao tells Lin, we need to discuss the honeymoon budget. But Lin gets fed up and tells him, enjoy the honeymoon by yourself. And then she leaves from there. Later, she comes to Yan, but Yan is not happy seeing her. She books a hotel for Lin and says, if I have a family relation with anyone, it is just with Grandma, because her surname is also Shu and mine is also Shu. But I don't have any family relation with anyone else, not even with you, because your surname is Chin. After this, Yan is in the car and we see, in a flashback, in Yan's childhood, Yan's grandma tells Yan's parents, how can you people do this to Yan? She has heart disease, so now you people don't even like her. From now on, you people will have to take care of her. Next, we see Yan gets ready to go and live with her parents. Now then we see in the house, Yan's parents' entire attention remains only on Lin. They don't even pay attention to Yan. Slowly, Yan turns 18 years old and Lin turns 20 years old. Yan's dad doesn't have money to get Yan admitted to college, so he tells Yan's teacher Yan will not give the college entrance exam. Hearing this, Yan starts crying a lot. She asks her dad, why have you always been doing this to me? Why does only Lin get all the good things? Yan continues asking such questions, due to which her dad gets angry and he slaps Yan. Yan gets very upset and goes outside her grandma's house. After this, Grandma is surprised seeing her crying, and then she brings Yan inside her house. Then the scene comes to the current time where Yan comes to Hao Ming's house. Here, Hao Ming shows her a plant which is just about to bloom, and after that, that plant will die. Now Yan says, this is the rule of life, aging, dying, and being born again. After this, slowly Hao Ming starts kissing Yan. Later, Tao says sorry to Lin and requests her, please come back, but Lin ignores him. After this, Tao goes to Lin's parents and tells them, I have to tell you everything. Then, Lin's parents come to Yan's address. Now here, Yan, having made two people her fake parents, is roaming around with Hao Ming's mom. Just then, Yan's parents come and call Yan and say, we are Yan's parents. Hearing this, everyone calls Yan a liar. Suddenly, upon Hao Ming's mom calling her, Yan comes to her senses. She realizes that she was dreaming. Now then, slowly Hao Ming's family leaves from there, and just then, Yan's parents come to Yan. They find out that Hao Ming's family, who belong to the Jinda group, are going to become their daughter's in-laws. Now, after this, Yan tells her parents, only Grandma is my family. I won't even invite you people to the wedding. Now Lin takes Yan's parents to her rented apartment. Here, Lin finds out about Yan's wedding. She also finds out that Yan has brought fake parents in front of her in-laws. Anyway, then later, Yan goes to the village to meet her grandma. There, her grandma is working on osmanthus flowers, so Yan moves her aside and starts doing her work herself. Now here, Yan tells Grandma, Grandma, I am getting married. But then she says, the city is very far. It will become a long journey for you. Now Grandma says, I won't be able to go to the wedding. I have become old, haven't I? You keep a photo of the wedding for me. Now later, Yan starts crying a lot and hugging her grandma. She says, one day I will take you to the city. I will give you a good life. Later, Yan returns to the city where Hao Ming gifts her a ring. Anyway, then, a girl named Lei joins the office, whom Hao Ming already knows. Lei tells Hao Ming, before going to London, you told me to focus on studies. I remember every word you said. Now Yan secretly overhears all these things. Next day, Yan comes to her workplace where Lei is also there. These two meet each other and both introduce themselves. Later, these two are having lunch where Lei says, after joining this company, Hao Ming has set me up to work on new projects. Next, we see Hao Ming and Yan are in wedding attire and they both put rings on each other. Now, after this, Yan's classmate's parents arrive here. That classmate's dad is Ji Hui, who is specialized in architecture, and he recognizes Yan. Here, Hao Ming's dad says, Yan's dad is also specialized in architecture. Just then Yan says, my dad is specialized in sustainable design. So Ji Hui says, I have specialization in the mechanics. Now at night, Hao Ming goes to sleep, but Lei messages on his phone, I'm in the swimming pool and I'm drunk. So Hao Ming goes to see her even though he doesn't want to. Yan is watching all this from the window. Now Lei tells Hao Ming, when I saw you going to get married, I felt I can never forget you. I love you. Anyway, then Hao Ming doesn't pay attention to her and says, I am already married. You leave from here. Next day, Lei meets Hao Ming and Yan in the office and says, yesterday I was very drunk, I don't remember anything. Did I give you guys any trouble? Now later, these two go for their honeymoon where Hao Ming kisses Yan, and these two spend time nicely with each other. Anyway, then later, Yan brings Hao Ming to her grandma. Here, they spend a lot of time with grandma. Then these two put up their wedding photo in grandma's house, and Hao Ming kisses Yan. Next, Hao Ming takes Yan to a place. Actually, this place is Yan's parents' old house. Now, Hao Ming doesn't know this fact. He says, I have set this place up. You will practice your hosting here. This is good for your career. Then Hao Ming draws Yan on the glass and Yan also draws Hao Ming. Then these two start kissing each other. On that side in the shopping mall, Lin sees a boy and says, Yiming? Just then, a customer arrives with whom Lin gets busy. That customer tries a lot of things but doesn't buy any product. Now Lin returns home where we see that customer was actually Lin's roommate. Now Lin brings some products for this roommate by herself, but this roommate doesn't take those products. Later, while working, Lin gets hurt on the arm. She goes to the doctor where she sees that the doctor is none other than Yiming. Here we see in a flashback, Lin is looking at Yiming's result on a board and thinks to herself, now we are going to separate. The scene comes to the current time and Yiming and Lin start talking about old things. Now Yiming asks Lin, can I have Yan's number so that I can come and take you? Then Yan comes, and Yiming finds out that Yan has gotten married. Anyway, then later Yan checks Lin's apartment and says, I will find a new place for you. Next day, Yan chooses a new apartment for Lin, where Yaming lives in Lin's neighborhood. Early in the morning, Yaming brings breakfast for Lin, and then he leaves from there. Here, Tao's mom tells Tao, Yan and Lin have bought an apartment. They have even made the down payment for it. How did such a poor family do this? Surely Lin must have used our bride price money. Tao, I want that money back. Then Tao messages Lin, my parents are angry at you, but I love you. But Lin has blocked Tao. So then Tao goes to the city to meet Lin. Here, he sees Yan with Yiming. Yan tells Yiming, take care of Lin. Tao hears this and asks Yan, why did you say that to him? Have you kept this boy so that he can seduce Lin? Yan tells Tao, stay away from Lin. Further, Yan tells Lin about this matter too. Later, Hao Ming tells his staff, get all the information about Tao. Here, Yan, by talking to someone, finds out the address of an old lady named Madame Yu. Madame Yu lives in a nursing home. Madame Yu has Alzheimer's. Yan, seeing her actions, remembers her grandma. Madame Yu counts vegetable balls in the same way as Yan's grandma used to do in Yan's childhood. Next day, Yan brings an osmanthus cake for Madame Yu, but Madame Yu, mistaking her for a thief, starts throwing the cake at her. Just then, Yan calms her down and gives her the vegetable balls made by her. Madame Yu becomes happy seeing the vegetable balls. She starts keeping those balls in her tiffin box. Now after this, Yan slowly makes friends with Madame Yu. Because of her, Madame Yu starts taking medicine and goes to sleep on time too. Next day, these two exercise and stay very happy together. From a distance, a man named Huang is watching this. Later, he tells Hao Ming, you are successful in your career too. You have also got a good wife who has been helping you. Further, he says, your wife is taking care of my mother-in-law. By the way, I am very happy for this. Now Hao Ming says, by the way, did you think anything about the new plot? I feel Shuk and Shifeng companies should come together. Only then can this plot be utilized properly. Your company will benefit from this. On that side, in the office, some employees are watching a news report where it is said, a lady hired fake actors to conduct her wedding. Now in this news picture, Si Wei sees Yan's fake dad. Later, she goes to her boss and asks, may I see Yan's wedding photos? From here, she remembers that the person she saw in that news article was in Yan's wedding too. She finds this man and starts questioning him. Later, Siwei goes to Yan and tells her, "My guest got stuck in traffic so he is unable to come. So for my news reporting please, you become my guest." After this in the studio, Siwei looks at that news article where Yan's fake dad is featured, and in the headlines, it is written, "A lady got married by bringing fake family members." Now in the studio, Yan's fake dad is invited, and he says, "Families that lack family members, I go to their weddings acting as a family member." Just then, Siwei shows Yan's wedding photo on the big screen where Yan's fake dad is also present. Everyone gets surprised. But just then, Yan's fake dad says, "This is someone who looks like me. This is not me." Then Yan shows a birthmark on her fake dad's neck, and then she shows a photo taken with her fake dad and says, "In this photo, I am with my dad, and there is no birthmark on his neck." Here we see in a flashback Yan had told her fake dad, "Hide this birthmark." Now later, because Siwei is proven wrong, she remains very angry. Yan comes to her. Just then she sees Hao Ming coming. To trigger Siwei, she goes close to her and says, "No matter how much you try to humiliate me at the end of the day, you will come to me begging for food like a dog." Hearing this, Siwei slaps her, which Hao Ming sees and informs the legal team about this. Later at home, everyone watches Yan reading the news because Yan has got a new job role of news reading. Just then, Hao Ming's brother, Hao Chen, comes and asks Hao Ming, "Please come watch the horse show." But Hao Ming is busy, so Hao Chen feels bad. Later, while playing, Hao Chen gets into a fight with some student. That's why his guardian is called to the school. On behalf of Hao Chen, Yan goes to meet the school teacher. Then when Yan returns home, Hao Ming's mom says, "Hao Chen will have to control his temper. Let's send him abroad." Hao Chen hears this thing and goes to his room. Yan goes to convince him, so Hao Chen says, "You are the one who told my parents to send me abroad, right?" Yan tells him, "It is nothing like that." Hao Chen says, "Since you came here, brother spends less time with me." Yan says, "If today's school incident is not repeated, then I can do something so that Hao Ming gives you more time." Later, a person named Zhou comes to meet Yan. Here we see in a flashback after graduating, Yan fills up a form for a job. Here, a campus agent tells her, "You should write in the place of family occupation that your parents work overseas." But just then, from the side, Joe says, "Don't write lies, you might get caught." The scene comes to the current time where Joe tells Yan, "I know you have gotten married into the Jinda family. Please talk to your husband so that I can collaborate with him." Later in the horse riding club, Hao Chen has an accident. He is hospitalized where Hao Ming and his parents come to see him. Then after some time, they leave from there. Now Yan is taking care of Hao Chen. But Hao Chen bullies her saying, "Feed me food, I want water." Yan says, "Your hands haven't got hurt, so eat with your own hands." Later, Yan tells Hao Ming, "Hao Chen fell from the horse on purpose so that he could get attention from you guys." Then she shows Hao Ming a video where Hao Chen pulled the horse hard so that he himself would fall. Further, Yan says, "A good childhood can heal people, but a bad childhood is painful for people." On that side, Lin doesn't get a promotion because her education qualification is low. She thinks about studying new courses and requests. Yiming is, "Please teach me." Here, Yan shows Hao Chen's parents' drawings related to Hao Chen's depression. She explains to them, "Hao Chen needs your time." So his parents start spending a lot of time with Hao Chen. Later, Mr. Zhou calls Yan to meet. Yan says, "Your collaboration with my husband cannot happen. In your company, everyone is a hired actor. I have investigated." Zhou says, "Your parents are also hired actors. Why don't we both help each other?" Later, Zhou comes to Hao Ming's house with Miss Ma. Miss Ma tells Hao Ming's mom, "This is my friend. He is doing very good work in the medical and technical sector." Anyway, then after a little while, Zhou secretly tells Yan, "You will convince your husband to invest in my company." After this, Zhou meets Hao Ming and says, "My company works in the fields of medical and technology. If you make some investment in this, it would be good." Hao Ming says, "If a good project comes, we will definitely do it." Later, Zhou tells Yan, "I thought you would help me in convincing Hao Ming, and I thought we both are on the same side." Yan says, "We were never on the same side." Zhou says, "If you don't want to give your husband's money, then you give me your money. You have one night to think. If no solution comes, then I will expose you online." Later, Zhou calls Yan's parents to the city and tells them Yan hired actors and presented them as her parents in front of everyone. Knowing all this, Yan's dad starts getting angry at Yan. Yan says, "Since childhood for me, it was only me, not you or anyone else." Later, Zhou meets Hao Ming and tells him to invest in his company. But after a little while, Yan tells Hao Ming, "Do not do so, because there is no operation related to the medical sector in Jinda Group, and Jinda Group knows nothing about the operations of Zhou's company." But Hao Ming says, "We will find other investors for this. No investment will be made from Jinda Group." Later, Hao Ming finds out that the car he had gifted Yan has sold that car. But he doesn't say anything to Yan right then. Now, a few months later, Zhou gets arrested. Hao Ming says, I found out that Zhou is addicted to gambling. Now Hao Ming asks Yan, where is the car? So Yan says, actually, Miss Ma had also invested for Zhou. Hao Ming says, hey, Miss Ma has many startups she doesn't think about returns. By the way, if you need money, tell me don't sell cars. After this, we see a boy named Liang at a party whom Lei comes to talk to. Lei makes Liang drink a mixture of honey and tomato sauce. Actually, here Lei has seen Hao Ming coming. Seeing him, Lei gives this mixture to Liang because years ago in front of Lei, a girl had given this mixture to Hao Ming to drink too. Sometime later, Hao Ming comes and asks Lei, what are you doing here? Lei says, many people are waiting to shake hands with Liang. I am mixing with Liang so that our project gets some benefit. Don't worry, I am doing this willingly. Anyway, then later, Hao Ming introduces Yan to a lady named Miss Jiang. Then Yan and Miss Jiang start talking to each other. Miss Jiang tells Yan, you are managing your husband's business and doing your own work too. Yan says, I always want to stand by my husband and want to keep things under my control because this makes me feel even more secured. So in the end, Miss Jiang gets impressed with Yan. On that side, Lei drinks too much with Liang and goes to the washroom to vomit. Hao Ming comes and gives her a tissue saying, our deal with Ms. Jiang's company is confirmed, you don't need to mix with Liang anymore. After this, Hao Ming's friend, Wei Ping, goes to drop Lei home. He checks if Lei has a fever or not, but Lei moves his hand away. Wei Ping says, Hao Ming has a loving wife, you don't have any chance with him. Later, Liang asks Hao Ming, your company is separating from the parent company and doing this deal with us. Why should we take the risk of investing in this? Hao Ming shows a news report where Ms. Jiang and Hao Ming were seen together. And right after that, the stocks of both their companies started rising. So, both companies benefit from this. Showing these reports, Hao Ming leaves from there. Later, he tells Yan, our deal with Jiang's group got the final confirmation. On that side, Tao goes and tells Yiming, bad things happened to me because of you. Just then, Lin comes there and takes Tao outside. Tao says, he cannot be a good doctor because he has destroyed families. Lin says, he hasn't destroyed anyone's family, and there is zero connection between you and me now. Here, it is Yan's birthday, so Hao Ming prepares a surprise for her. But just then, Lei calls him, so Hao Ming goes to her. Here, Lei tells Hao Ming, you could have waited for me. Why did you marry an outsider? Hao Ming says, at least stop all this for your sister. Just then, Lei takes some medicines. So Hao Ming picks her up in his arms and takes her away. Here, Yan is calling Hao Ming, but no one picks up the call. Then Yan asks an office staff, where is Hao Ming? So that staff says, Hao Ming said he is going to meet you, and he left. At night, Hao Ming returns home and tells Yan, I got late because of a meeting. Next day, Jinda Group goes to sign a bond with another group. But just then, police come and show an arrest warrant to that other group's chairman because that chairman had applied illegal methods in some of his business work. Further, Hao Ming's dad remains very upset, so Hao Ming comes and tells him, we can find another investor. Then he starts explaining his future plans to his dad. He says, there will be only a few close people in the company so that there is no third-party interference. Then Hao Ming shakes hands with Shoot Group. Then he tells an old employee from the company, you must resign. Hao Ming tells that employee, you have surely given the company a lot of profit, but you have put some money from that into your pocket too. Later, that same old employee comes to meet Hao Ming and asks him for a job. He says, I apologize for my deeds. Please keep me in your company. But Hao Ming doesn't agree, so that person attacks Hao Ming, but Hao Ming also counterattacks and starts hitting him. Later, Hao Ming leaves home and picks up Hao Chen from school and spends time with him. Yan calls Hao Ming, but Hao Ming cuts her call. Later in the office, Lei finishes her work and then she starts feeling dizzy. Hao Ming gives her chocolate and says, you work till late night, keep chocolate with you. Then he drops Lei home. Next day, Hao Ming is playing golf where Lei also arrives. Lei says, tonight I will give you and Yan a dinner treat. Hao Ming says, today we have a dinner meeting with another company. You also come to join there. Now, seeing Hao Ming and Lei's actions, Yan feels that an affair is going on between these two. Later, Yan goes to an office dinner with Hao Ming. She returns from there very drunk and tries to seduce Hao Ming. But then Hao Ming shows her a picture where Lei's dad has signed a contract to collaborate with Hao Ming's group. Then he leaves from there. Just then, Hao Ming's lawyer comes and tells Lei, what you said about Hao Ming's family and what you did with Hao Ming is recorded. If you do this again, you will have to face legal consequences. Next morning, Yan goes to pick up Hao Chen from school. Just then, Lei comes there and says, the one whom you consider Hao Ming's brother is actually his son. In those days in London, a relationship was formed between my sister and Hao Ming. Hao Chen is the illegitimate child of these two. My sister died in a diving accident. With that, this secret also went away. Later, to hide it from people, Hao Ming's family declared Hao Chen as Hao Ming's brother. And Hao Ming married you because you could bring his elite business partners to your show. This would bring more improvements to his business. Later, Yan returns home and tells Hao Ming, Hao Chen is your illegitimate son. Lei told me this. Why did you hide this? Then Hao Ming takes out Yan's profile from a cupboard. Actually, he knows about Yan's reality. He says, I liked your charm. I felt someone of our status wouldn't accept me because of my past, and I liked your ambition too. Your becoming a host brought development to my business. But still, at the end I only supported you, right? When Joe was threatening you, I got him caught for the crime of gambling. Yan says, did you really ever truly love me? Hao Ming says, since I found out you are a fraud, I decided that I will never love you again. After a while, Hao Ming asks Yan, so what did you think? Yan says, if you want a divorce, I will give the divorce. Hao Ming says, taking a divorce right now can be problematic for my career and my parents. There is an office program in 2 days. Being my wife, you should remain present there, and no one should understand that there is some issue between us. Next day, Yan reads the news, and then after the show, everyone says bye to her nicely and leaves. She thinks, if I stop being Hao Ming's wife, will people continue to behave nicely with me like this? At night, Yan tells Hao Ming, I admit I have made a mistake. Because of your family, I got growth in my career. But my love for you is genuine. I will accept Hao Chen and tackle the career well too. Hao Ming says, if you showed that much interest in money, I would feel you are sincere. Yan says, meaning you don't feel that I love you? Hao Ming says, no. Next day, Hao Ming and Yan participate in the occasion of the new district project. Reporters tell Hao Ming, you have applied your wife's creativity in this project. Hao Ming says, my wife has a lot of skills and potential. At night, Hao Ming remains asleep and just then, Lei calls him to meet. Then Wei Ping calls Hao Ming and says, Lei is saying that if you don't come to meet her, she will commit suicide. Now Yan is sleeping nearby and she hears these things. Then Hao Ming goes to Lei's house and says, you told Yan the truth about Hao Chen. You deserve to die. But Lei cannot gather the courage to kill herself. Then Hao Ming says, you are out of the new district project. Saying this, he leaves from there. Here Lin sees a patient's mom is scolding Yiming. You took more time than the average time to operate on my child. After some time, Lin gives some money to that lady and says, I can understand your pain. But please don't be so rude to Dr. Yiming. He is a very skilled doctor. Then the scene cuts, and Yiming's supervisor tells him, I got a complaint that your wife came and gave money to the patient party. Then the scene cuts, and we see Lin apologizing to Yiming. So Yiming tells her, the issue is solved, and that lady has forgiven you. Here Hao Ming and Yan come to a program where Yan tells Lei, nowadays I have become very busy. If you are free, take care of Hao Ming a little. Now the ring auction starts where Yan announces 3 million and buys a ring. Then she shows that ring to Lei and says, do you like this ring? Here you wear it. Auctions are just an excuse to do charity. There is a different pleasure in charity. Now over there, Yan's grandma is watching TV where glimpses of the new district project are being shown. Here seeing Yan's face, Grandma understands that Yan is sad. So Grandma calls Yan and asks, are you okay or not? Yan says, everything is fine, Grandma. Next week I will take leave and come to you. Grandma says, no, you go somewhere with Hao Ming, that will be good. A few days later, Yan goes to Grandma's house, but a lady comes there and tells Yan, yesterday your grandma fainted. Your parents have taken her to the county hospital. Yan runs to that hospital. Her mom says, Grandma is stable right now. At night, Grandma regains consciousness and she talks a little with Yan. Yan tells Grandma, you come to the city with me. Grandma says, people like us have always been farming in the countryside. Going to the city, we won't be able to adjust. Later, Yan comes to the city and gives the divorce agreement to Hao Ming. Just then, Hao Ming starts recording a voice note on his phone where he says, Mr. Zhou, I am canceling my sponsorship. Then, moving the phone a little away from himself, Hao Ming asks Yan, should I send this message? Then Yan calls Lei and says, you are ruining a marriage. Stop harassing Hao Ming. So Lei starts saying, I have come from London only to have a relationship with Hao Ming. Moreover, I am Hao Chen's aunt. Meanwhile, Yan disconnects the call, and Yan had this conversation in front of Hao Ming, so Hao Ming also heard everything. And then Yan leaves from there. Later, Lei chases after Hao Ming so that he eats food with Lei. Just then, from the other side, Yan is coming with her staff. Seeing this, Lei holds Hao Ming's hand. When Yan sees this, she slaps Lei and says, until my divorce happens, you will remain the other woman. Later, we see Yan in front of Hao Ming's parents, and Yan says, I am sorry. Hao Ming's mom says, I liked you. How could you tell a lie? Yan says sorry again and says, if Hao Chen asks about me, tell him I am very busy. Now Yan resigns from her office too. Actually, after Yan's divorce rumors spread, Yan has been removed from her show too. Later, Hao Ming comes to Yan's apartment and gives her the divorce agreement. He says, today I am free, so why don't we go through every clause of the divorce? Yan says, sure. After a while, Yan says, by the way, remember that tomorrow we have to go to the Civil Affairs Bureau. So next day, these two go there, but the lawyer says, you both are given a cooling off period of 1 month. In the meantime, if you guys cancel the divorce, then don't come here. Next, Hao Ming is in his house and is remembering how Yan developed his family's bonding with Hao Chen, how because of Yan, a deal of Hao Ming got confirmed, and he also remembers that once Yan had said, for me, only Hao Ming is important. Later voting starts in Hao Ming's office. Some members elect Hao Ming as a new board member, but some members vote against this. Here we see in a flashback, Hao Ming's dad had secretly heard the conversation of 2 employees. They were talking among themselves. Hao Ming is very irresponsible. He has an illegitimate child. His divorce has happened too. Even if his dad elects him, we will object. Now in the meeting, Hao Ming's dad also doesn't elect Hao Ming. On that side, Yan has to go for an audition at a new place. The news reading style there is a bit loud. So without sleeping at night, she practices reading out news loudly like that. Here, Hao Ming leaves the main sector of Jinda Group and goes to work in a small sector. From the reports there, he finds out that the business development condition there is bad. So he also stays awake at night and works. Next day, Yan comes to the office to deliver news. Here she speaks the news very well. She speaks about product prices, discounts, shouting quite a bit about these things. After this, her boss tells her, you spoke according to the script, but that is just a manual. Here is the manufacturer, so you have to tell about the product too, why customers will buy this product. After all, you are a host. You should know how to add all these things too. After this, Yan acts as a co-host. She starts eating a lot of food and the main host describes that food. On this too, Yan's boss scolds her and says, along with eating, you should talk a little too. In the next reel, Yan talks along with eating. Now coming home, her health gets worse because she has eaten so much. Now seeing this food review video, Lin comes to meet Yan and finds out everything. Anyway, then after this, Yan is working at her new job place. She is making reels as a co-host with the main host. On that side, Hao Ming is himself looking at every single work at the new construction site. Then he announces in front of all workers, I have come here to investigate the reasons for project delays. Further, he says, due to work delays, products have started getting spoiled. That is why we all have to work more and finish the entire work quickly. A lead employee says, we don't want to overwork. So Hao Ming opens a bag full of money and says, from today there will be daily payment. Meet me every day after work. Each worker will be given his payment in his hand. Still, some lead employees don't agree to this, but some workers agree with Hao Ming's work procedure. On that side, Yan is live streaming, and a staff member of Hao Ming sees this streaming. He informs Hao Ming about this. Seeing this streaming, Hao Ming creates a disguised account and places orders to buy the products streamed by Yan. Along with this, a person named Warm Harbor is also placing bulk orders. Later, Yan's manager tells her, Warm Harbor wants to meet you. When Yan goes to meet Warm Harbor, she sees that it is actually Hao Chen. Hao Chen says, I miss you. Yan says, call me anytime, and then wherever you want, we will go there. Later, Lei sees Yan's live streaming. Then she takes Hao Ming's mom and her friends to an event where Yan is selling products. Seeing Yan like this, Hao Ming's mom's friends say, is this the business that Yan has started? So Hao Ming's mom says, we all also started our careers by doing hard work like this by going into the field. Now later at night, Hao Ming comes to meet Yan. So Yan asks Hao Ming, why are you at the small site? So Hao Ming says, I have just come back to report. Then he says, if you need any help in the job, tell me. Yan refuses his help and leaves from there. Later, Yan's manager tells her, you didn't tell me that you know such influential people? Actually, Hao Ming's mom's friends had bought the product marketed by Yan, and that too in bulk amount. Now Yan's manager says, you will have to make reels about the side effects of being a rich daughter-in-law. Yan disagrees, so her manager deducts a lot of money from her salary. Yan quits the job and leaves. Later, a friend of Lin remains very upset because she had invested all her money to make ethnic outfits and had showcased those ethnic wares in a competition. But she had lost in that competition. So Yan makes a plan to do a startup taking Lin's friend. All of them start making dresses with the help of Yan's funds and posting them on social media. Then Yan says, we will have to make the ethnic wares appealing by giving them a slightly unique touch. Here, Hao Ming goes to an investor of his. This investor was giving stress to Hao Ming for some days that Hao Ming should return his money to this investor. So now Hao Ming tells him, you make a little more investment, improve the road on the side of our construction area, then this will improve the villagers' lives. They will be able to access a lot of things. The government will also support this, and a new budget will be set. This will repay your previous loans too. On that side, Yan is looking for investors in various places, but she doesn't find anyone. Just then, she meets Liang, and he also tells her, it is difficult to get success in this thing. Further, he says, but I have a friend, he will help you. Now, Liang brings Yan to a shooting center. Yan does her work here. During this time, Liang tries to get close to her, but Yan overlooks this matter. Later, Hao Ming asks Yan, "Will you do me a favor?" So Yan goes to meet him. Hao Ming says, "I have to confirm a deal with a Russian businessman, but he believes in family values, so you will have to live as my wife so that seeing us, he agrees to approve this deal." Anyway, then these two act as a couple. That Russian man stays in a hotel with his wife, so Hao Ming starts staying with Yan in the room next to him. Calling the reception, Hao Ming orders a cake with "I love you" written on it, but he tells them, "Take this cake to the Russian couple's room." After this, Yan and Hao Ming go to this Russian man's room and say, "I had ordered a romance package for my wife. I think the waiter gave that to you." Now in this way, talking and talking, they enter the Russian man's room and slowly both couples mix with each other. In the evening, a little fight happens between Yan and Hao Ming, where Yan says, "Hao Ming, you used me." And Hao Ming says, "Without me, you won't get investment in the business either." Just then, the Russian man's wife comes, so Yan and Hao Ming act like a lovely couple again. Anyway, then a game is given to these two where both will take turns throwing water on each other's faces. Both did this, and because of this, both got a little angry at each other. At night in the hotel room, Yan asks Hao Ming, "Tell me about Hao Chen's biological mother." Hao Ming says, "A few months after the breakup with her, she came to meet me. She said, 'I am pregnant.' Later, she died in a diving accident. Now later, a spy from another company comes, who constantly tries to show the Russian man that Yan and Hao Ming's relationship is not good. But one day, Hao Ming himself says, 'I have come on this trip to fix the relationship with Yan.' He says, 'I have been immature, which is why issues came in this marriage. But Yan has always taken care of me and my family.' Further, he says, 'Today in front of everyone, I would like to give Yan the wedding ring again. Yan, forgive me.' Yan says, 'Okay, don't do this again.' Then these two start kissing. Next day, Hao Ming tells that Russian man, 'We want you to become an investor for Jinda Group.' The Russian man says, 'I will wait for your call.' When the Russian man leaves from there, Hao Ming goes to hold Yan's hand, but Yan doesn't hold his hand anymore. Later, these two are returning by car. Yan says, 'Jiang has invested for my studio, and what I told you that many investors want to invest for me, that was a lie.' Hao Ming says, 'Wow, who knows how many lies you have told?' Yan gets angry and says, 'Yes, I have told. The day I fainted on that day, I just acted to be fainting.' Hao Ming says, 'I have also told lies. The jewelries I gave you, I actually ordered them from Mr. Chen. He went and brought them from the shop. I didn't even put effort into choosing those jewelries.' Yan says, 'I haven't dated only you. I have dated a total of 10 people. Later, Hao Ming starts missing Yan. He feels that he will have to win Yan again. So as soon as the divorce day comes, he tells Chen, 'Tell Yan I am in Moscow.' Then later, Hao Ming is leaving the house, and just then, Yan is in front of his house. Then Hao Ming has to go with Yan. But then he says, 'I have pain in my heart, I should go to the doctor.' Now Hao Ming spends the whole day getting his body checkup done, due to which both get late in going to the divorce office. So the divorce officer says, 'Come next month.' Later we see Yan and Liang, where Liang indirectly proposes to Yan while talking. But Yan rejects him. Just then, Hao Ming arrives there. Now then Yan enters the lift, so Hao Ming keeps pressing the lift button from outside. Yan tells him, 'Remove your hand.' So he removes his hand. But still, the lift doesn't close. Now Yan sees Hao Ming is standing with his leg stuck inside the lift, so Yan kicks his leg, and Hao Ming has to remove his leg. On the other side, Lei starts drinking a lot, so Wei Ping goes to stop her, and then these two come very close to each other, due to which a kiss happens between them. Sometime later, Wei Ping tells Lei, 'Would you like to take revenge on Hao Ming? Because I cannot watch you getting more depressed.' On that side, Hao Ming's mom tells Hao Ming, 'In years of business, I have seen many people. Seeing Yan, I can say how much she loves you. Convince her.' Hao Ming says, 'At the time of marriage, I took an oath that I will never let this relationship go.' Later, Hao Ming meets Yiming and says, 'Both of our love lives are scattered. The people we both love are sisters. We should team up.' Yiming says, 'Yes, when Lin ignores me, then you explain to her, and when Yan ignores you, then I will explain to her.' After this, Yan sends him a voice message and says, 'I have to talk about Hao Chen. Can we meet tomorrow?' Now Hao Ming goes to Yan's house today itself. Coming here, he does some housework too. Then it becomes evening and he pretends that he is hungry, but Yan tells him, 'Go back home.' But Hao Ming stays right there. Just then, Lin and her other two friends come into the house. Hao Ming talks proactively with all of them too. Then a time comes when Yan tells him to go home and says, 'Actually, tomorrow is Hao Chen's parents' meeting, so get prepared for that.' Anyway, then later, Hao Ming meets Lin and says, 'Please don't push me away from Yan. By the way, I met Yiming.' Hearing this, Lin asks, 'How is he?' Hao Ming says, he isn't eating or drinking properly. Actually, right now, Lin and Yiming's relationship is not going well. That is why Hao Ming raised Yiming's topic. Later, Yiming goes to Lin's house. Here, he indirectly proposes to Lin. He says, I am just a doctor, but in this city, I will be able to take care of you. Right after this, a kiss happens between these two. On that side, Yan takes a truck and goes to deliver things. But midway, her truck breaks down. Yan calls her friend and tells her, my truck has broken down. That friend is in Yan's studio, where Hao Ming arrives at the same time. So from that friend, Hao Ming finds out about this issue. Hao Ming immediately reaches the spot with a new truck and transfers things to the new truck. Then Hao Ming tells Yan, I have behaved with you in quite an arrogant way. That's why you're doing such hard work. Yan says, I want to get happiness from myself. And the work at the end of which one finds happiness doing a little hard work for that is no big deal. Next day, Yan finds out that someone has made an online video and said, the material of Yan's products is bad, and has also said, we are making this same product well and selling it at a lower price. Now, when Yan checks the similar products made by those people, she finds out that those products are machine-made and of poor fabric. But in Yan's studio, only handmade products are made. Later, some investors of Yan's studio come and tell Yan, your second batch of products has failed. If you are releasing the third batch, then we want a 10% deposit in return for that right now. And you are Jinda Group's daughter-in-law, so this money will be like pocket money for you. Yan says, I will be able to make the payment only later, and after this payment, Yan Studio will not do any collaboration with you guys. Just then, Hao Ming brings that Russian businessman's wife here, with whom Yan and Hao Ming had spent their trip time. Now, here that lady tells Yan in front of everyone, I am a fan of your dresses. In Moscow, Chinese traditional dress is trending. Show me some dresses. After this, Hao Ming starts talking to Yan's investors alone and says, my wife is doing business by struggling a lot, support her. So now these people get influenced by the words of Hao Ming and that Russian man's wife and agree to support Yan. Now after this, Hao Ming tells Yan, here is information about a fashion competition so that Yan Studio can inform people about its authentic clothes. But the competition organizers don't qualify Yan Studio to compete. Now, Hao Ming gives an interview where he says, Yan selected this tough path. She gave jobs to village ladies. Yan Studio's values are not just product-based, but this studio thinks about people too. After this, Hao Ming's words spread on social media. Then the competition organizers call Yan and invite her to the competition again. Now Yan takes part in the competition. Her models also do a ramp walk wearing Yan Studio's dresses. After all this, everyone goes to eat at a restaurant. Here, Liang constantly talks to Yan. Seeing this, Hao Ming gets angry. Hao Ming keeps hitting his plate with a knife again and again. Seeing all this, Lin goes to keep Liang busy with herself. But in a little while, Liang calls Yan again to play a game with everyone. Later, Hao Ming goes out from there and drinks, and Yan also gets very drunk. Then Yiming brings Hao Ming to Hao Ming's house. Hao Ming is very drunk. On that side, while returning by car, Yan sees Hao Ming's house and tells Lin, this is my house, stop the car. After this, Lin brings Yan to Hao Ming's house. Here, Hao Ming and Yan talk in an intoxicated manner to each other. Then both go wild and start kissing each other. Next day, when these two wake up, both remain sleeping undressed on the same bed. Now Lin and Yiming tell them everything about last night. Then Lin and Yiming leave from here. Now Yan is also about to leave. Just then, Hao Ming calls her from behind and goes to kiss her. But just then, Hao Ming's mom comes into the room and sees these two. Immediately, Yan says, Mom, we both were doing tricep exercise. Later, Hao Ming's mom tells Yan, you won the competition, and Hao Ming is quite happy about this. Later, Hao Ming goes to drop Yan home and says, tomorrow I am inviting that Russian businessman. You will come, right? Yan says, yes. Later, Yan is about to go meet Hao Ming, and just then another company's agent, Steve, calls her and says, Hao Ming's 3-month evaluation period is going on with that Russian man whose name is Mr. Baraikin. That's why Hao Ming has used you so that Baraikin feels that Hao Ming's relationship with his wife is good. After all, Baraikin believes in family values. Now, after this, Yan goes to meet everyone. After the conversation, Baraikin and his wife leave, and Yan tells Hao Ming, I just repaid your favor because you helped me a lot. So now the acting is over and I am going home. Next day, Yan goes to a new town to meet her new project partner. There, a lady shows some clothes and says, we put the original essence of plants in the clothes. So Yan is slowly observing the designs of the clothes made there. Actually, Yan has come here to learn how they make designs in clothes with plant ingredients. Just then, Hao Ming also arrives here, and he also starts learning all this and starts applying color to clothes along with all the students. Later, Yan goes to explore the market, where she finds out that the markets here, the Botanical Training Center, all these are made by Hao Ming. Hao Ming has just come here to see all this. Now at night, Hao Ming is rehearsing for a theatrical drama. Yan finds out about this, and she understands that Hao Ming has a hobby of acting. Later, Yan sees an artwork in the museum. Now the supervisor here says, "This is batik work, and the artist of this has stopped doing this artwork." Now Yan wants to meet that artist, so Hao Ming takes Yan to him. But that artist doesn't want to talk about this and shoos them both away. Now Hao Ming and Yan ask a lady of this place about this artist, so that lady says, "This artist's divorce has happened, and his wife belongs to another tribe." Actually, after their marriage, that artist started thinking that his wife is traditional, and his wife started feeling that this artist has no ambition. Then these two got divorced, and that artist also stopped doing artwork. Still, Yan and Hao Ming go to convince that artist one more time to work. But that artist doesn't agree. Coming out of that artist's place, Hao Ming says, actually, his wife didn't leave him because he was failing or was not ambitious, but left him because he doesn't adapt to changes and remains stuck in his old designing pattern. Later, Yan and Hao Ming keep an eye on that batik artist and his wife. That artist's name is Master Chu, and his wife's name is Mrs. Chu. Observing them both, Yan and Hao Ming find out that Mrs. Chu still hasn't been able to forget Master Chu, and Master Chu secretly gathers knowledge about new forms of batik art. Now, Yan and Hao Ming trick Master Chu and Mrs. Chu into meeting each other. So Mrs. Chu and Mr. Chu look at each other, but neither talks properly to the other, and they leave from there. So after this, Yan and Hao Ming explain to them, "You shouldn't waste time." Later, Hao Ming performs a drama on stage, and at the end of the drama, looking at Yan, he says, "I made a mistake in love once. I had become very arrogant, but later, I realized true love. I took an oath that I will win her back. I love you." Right after this, we see Yan and Hao Ming run towards each other, and both kiss each other. Here, Tao has started working in Yan's studio. Now Tao prepares some financial reports and gets Lin to stamp them. On that side, we see a person named Ming Cheng, who is actually Wei Ping's dad. Now, Wei Ping's dad is keeping an eye on Hao Ming all the time. Later, Yan comes to Hao Ming's house to meet Hao Chen. She spends some time with him, and then she falls asleep at night. Hao Ming comes and kisses her on the cheek and tells Hao Chen, "Remain silent." Later, Wei Ping secretly enters Hao Ming's room and uses a password by guessing which opens Hao Ming's locker. From here, Wei Ping takes out Hao Chen's paternity test report. Next day, this news spreads online that Hao Ming is Hao Chen's dad. Hao Chen also finds out about this thing and he becomes very upset. Here, a board meeting is called in the office where Hao Ming's dad's best friend Ming Cheng says, "If there are no ethics left in our gender group, then our public image will be destroyed." Here, Hao Chen gets out of his car and runs away. So Chen calls Hao Ming and tells him, "I ran away." Now Wei Ping sees Hao Chen on the way and kidnaps him. Then a picture of Hao Chen's bag and the location's address comes to Hao Ming's phone. Informing the police about this, he himself goes to that address with Yan. Coming here, Hao Ming catches Wei Ping and then asks him, "Where is Hao Chen?" Ultimately, everyone finds Hao Chen. Anyway, then the media people ask Hao Ming, "Who is Hao Chen's mom?" So Yan says, "I am his mom." Later in the office, Ming Qing reveals in front of Hao Ming and his dad, "I was the one who told Wei Ping to leak that paternity report, and Wei Ping is my godson." So Wei Ping's godfather says, "We all have given labor in Jinda Group from the start, but later, only you became the director, and we all just had to obey your orders." On that side, Hao Chen is not eating anything, and Hao Ming's dad also cannot bear all this, and his health deteriorates, so he gets hospitalized. Now Yan also gets involved in all this, so Lin tells Yiming, "I have to do a lot of work for Yan's studio right now, because Yan has also become very busy with Hao Ming's family, so maybe I won't be able to give you much time right now." But later we see that Lin goes to meet Tao. Then we see Lin saying to Tao, "When you said that the bank has sanctioned the loan, I was so happy. Thank you for getting this loan sanctioned." Further, Tao says, "Actually, Yan's studio was not meeting the bank loan standards, so I tweaked the financial report a little, due to which the bank sanctioned the loan." Now Yan is the legal representative of Yan's studio, so if she gets stuck in any fraud case, it will be Yan. But if you break up with Yiming and marry me, then all this won't happen. Hearing this, Lin gets angry, but she agrees to Tao's words. Here, Hao Chen has mild autism disease, so Yan suggests Hao Chen should be taken to grandma in the village. It is an open area, and going there, Hao Chen will feel much better. After this, everyone comes to Jan's grandma, where grandma says, whoever stays here will have to do village work. Every day, he will have to give work hard. Hearing this, Hao Chen goes to do village work. He collects corn from corn plants and starts catching chickens. This diverts his mind a little. On that side, Lin records Tao's words where Tao is talking about the loan issue related to Jan's studio. Then Lin tells Yi Ming and Yan, Tao hasn't trapped Jan's studio in any fraud case. After this, Lin talks to a bank staff, after which she finds out that Tao hasn't trapped Jan's studio in any fraud case. He was just scaring Lin. So after this, Lin scolds Tao a lot and later gets engaged to Yiming. Now here, everything slowly starts becoming normal between Yan and Hao Ming, and they start living together in the same room. On that side, Ming Chung again thinks about causing harm to Hao Ming's business. But just then, Mr. Huang brings out some official disputes against Ming Chung and gives them to the concerned authority. This makes the concerned authority order an investigation against him. Later, Ming Chung is found guilty and he is arrested. Then Hao Ming tells Huang, "This wasn't possible without you." Huang says, "I wanted to collaborate with Ming Chung. I told him that I will leave your startup and work with his Jinda group. Then I told him that I want his 2 companies in Hong Kong. In this way, he got trapped." Anyway, then after all this, we see Lei has come to Hao Ming's house, and here showing Hao Chen's paternity test report, she says, Hao Ming is not Hao Chen's dad. In this report, the possibility of Hao Ming being Hao Chen's dad is shown as only 0.01%. Here we see, in a flashback, Lei's sister had come to her and said, "I don't know whose child is inside me. The day I broke up with Hao Ming, I got very drunk that day, and I met an ethnic artist and he also got very drunk." After that, all this happened. Then, the scene comes to the current time where Yan gets very angry at Lei and says, "From now on, no one will hurt Hao Chen, he will stay with me." Anyway then, Hao Ming slowly creates chances to become a board member of Jinda Group. He tells the board of directors, "My next plan is to acquire the diamond plot." On that side, Yan also hires new employees in her studio and constantly gives suggestions about developing the studio. Then at night, Yan asks Hao Ming, "How did the project proposal go?" Hao Ming says, "They found my proposal mediocre. By the way, can you become my co-planner in this project?" So Yan says, "Show me your proposal." Now, next day in the board meeting, Yan shows her presentation and says, "We have to put the essence of Chinese customs in our new project. We have to uplift Chinese tradition in this, as we see in Chinese traditional embroideries. We have to include Chinese craft in this project too, which will highlight the uniqueness." Now later we see Yan and Hao Ming click pictures with Yan's grandma. These 3 spend quite a fun time. Then at night, Hao Ming is looking at an album made by Yan, where Yan has pasted photos from her childhood to her marriage. Now Hao Ming turns the further pages of this album with Yan, where there are pictures of moments after Yan and Hao Ming's marriage. Just like that in one photo, Yan and Hao Ming are with Hao Chen, and in the caption below it is written, "Our kid." While looking at this album, both start kissing each other and then cover themselves with a blanket. Later we see Grandma is leaving Yan's house, and just then, Yan tells her parents, "From next time you 2 also come to stay here with Grandma." Next day in Hao Ming's office, both Hao Ming and Yan are ready to form a partnership. And here Jinda Group collaborates with Yan's studio, so that Yan's studio can bring an ethnic essence to Jinda Group's projects, which can lead to Jinda Group's development. So both Hao Ming and Yan sign the partnership contract, and with this, the drama has a happy ending.